There are places on this earth that humans are not meant to go. Deep trenches in the ocean, caverns that stretch miles underground. But the Bible tells us about a specific location that is not just a hole in the ground, it is a prison. For thousands of years, this prison has been locked. It has been sealed shut by God Himself, and inside this prison, there is an army waiting. Most people think of the end times as wars between countries, or earthquakes, or political treaties. But the book of Revelation describes an event that sounds like it was ripped straight out of a science fiction nightmare. It describes a day when the lock is broken, a day when the earth opens up, and what comes out is not human, it is not animal, and it is not a machine. Today, we are going to open the book of Revelation, chapter 9. We are going to look at the terrifying army of the bottomless pit. What are they? Why have they been chained up for so long? And most importantly, who is the king that leads them? Welcome to Pit to Palace Stories. Let's dive into the mystery. To understand this army, we have to look at how they are released. The Bible describes a series of trumpets that sound during the end times. When the fifth angel blows his trumpet, the Apostle John sees something terrifying. He writes in Revelation chapter 9, verse 1, "And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit." Notice the wording here. John sees a star falling, but this isn't a ball of gas burning in space. The Bible calls this star a him. This star is a person, or rather a being. Many scholars believe this is an angelic being. Some say it is Satan being cast down. Others say it is a powerful angel sent by God with a specific mission. Regardless of who he is, he holds one thing in his hand, a key. This proves that the underworld isn't chaotic. It is controlled. Nothing comes out of the darkness unless God allows the key to be turned. But on this specific day, the key is turned. Verse 2 says, "And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace." Imagine the scene. The crust of the earth cracks open, but the first thing that comes out isn't a monster, it is smoke. So much smoke that the Bible says the sun and the air were darkened. The world is plunged into a supernatural twilight. The atmosphere becomes choked with the exhaust of the underworld. But the smoke is just the cover for what comes next. Out of this thick, dark smoke, John sees a swarm emerge. At first glance, he calls them locusts. Now, if you've ever seen a plague of locusts, it is scary enough. They destroy crops. They eat everything in their path. They cause famine. But John quickly realizes that these are not normal insects. These are not the grasshoppers you find in your garden. These are supernatural hybrids. In the natural world, locusts eat grass. They eat leaves. They eat trees. But look at the specific command God gives to this army in verse 4. It says, "And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads." This is the first twist. These creatures are intelligent, they can receive commands, and they have a target list. They are forbidden from touching nature. Their entire purpose is to hunt humanity. But here is where it gets truly terrifying. They are not sent to kill. Verse 5 says, "And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months." 5 months, that's a very specific timeline. For 150 days, this army is unleashed to inflict pain. The Bible describes this pain as the torment of a scorpion when he strikes a man. Think about that. A scorpion sting sends neurotoxins through your body. It causes burning, convulsions, and agony. Now imagine that pain lasting for 5 months with no relief. The Bible says it will be so bad that in those days men shall seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. This creates a horrifying picture of the future. People will try to end their lives to escape the monsters, but they won't be able to. Death itself goes on holiday. So, what do these things look like? This is where the book of Revelation gives us one of the most vivid and disturbing descriptions in the entire Bible. John struggles to describe them because he's never seen anything like them on earth. He uses the word like over and over again. He's comparing them to things we know to describe something we don't know. Let's break down their anatomy piece by piece. First, the body. Verse 7 says, "And the shapes of the locusts were like horses prepared for battle. They are armored, they are muscular, they are built for war." Second, the head. On their heads were as it were crowns like gold. This suggests authority, or perhaps a conqueror's victory. They are not mindless beasts, they are a royal army of darkness. Third, the face. And their faces were as the faces of men. This is the uncanny valley effect. Imagine a giant insect-like creature, but when you look at it, it has a human face. It has human intelligence. It can look you in the eye while it torments you. Fourth, the hair. Verse 8 says, "And they had hair as the hair of women." This detail is bizarre. In the ancient world, long hair was often a sign of wildness or glory. It adds an uncanny human beauty to a monstrous form. Fifth, the mouth. And their teeth were as the teeth of lions. These aren't insects that bite. These are predators that rip and tear. Finally, the armor. And they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron. They are indestructible. You cannot crush them. You cannot shoot them. Modern weapons will bounce right off of them. And finally, the sound. And the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. Before you see them, you will hear them, a deafening roar of wings that sounds like a mechanical army rushing towards you. This is not a metaphor. The Bible is warning us about a literal release of entities that have been genetically or spiritually locked away since the beginning of time. But a swarm needs a leader. Who is controlling these nightmare creatures? Usually locusts have no king. Proverbs 30 says, "The locusts have no king, yet they go forth all of them by bands." But this demonic swarm is different. They do have a king. Verse 11 tells us exactly who he is. "And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon." The names are important. Abaddon means destruction. Apollyon means the destroyer. Who is this angel of the pit? Some people think this is Satan himself, but in the book of Revelation, Satan is usually described as the dragon or the accuser. He is cast out of heaven, but he is usually seen roaming the earth, not locked in the pit. It is very likely that Abaddon is a high-ranking fallen angel, a powerful entity that was so dangerous God had to lock him in solitary confinement deep within the earth. He has been waiting in the dark, plotting his revenge, waiting for the moment the star turns the key. He is the general of the abyss, and when he rises, he brings his army with him. This sounds like a horror movie, an unkillable army, a leader named Destruction, 5 months of torture. But there is one detail in this story that we skipped over all, and it is the most important detail of all. It is the secret to survival. Remember the command God gave them? He said they could only hurt those which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. Even in the middle of the Great Tribulation, even when the pit opens, God has marked his people. If you belong to God, these creatures cannot touch you. They might fly past you, they might surround you, but they are physically incapable of harming a single hair on your head. The story of the locusts is terrifying for the world, but it is a reminder of protection for the believer. God controls the key, God controls the pit, and God controls the limits of the darkness. The question isn't, are the monsters real? The question is, do you have the seal? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysteries of the Bible, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We release new videos every week uncovering the truth they never taught you in Sunday school. Thanks for watching Pit to Palace Stories. I'll see you in the next mystery.